All right. If there's any spirits with me tonight, you're more than welcome to join in. Just turning on my K2 here and gonna get it settled to make sure that it's not going to be reading anything but spirit activity. It might be picking up on my music box. Oh, let's just go ahead and do that. We don't want it to pick up the laptop. And normally it's not going off when I have it sitting there, so we're just gonna see if it'll settle. I'm gonna put my cat ball here and let it settle as well, because it should not go off now unless it is being manipulated. Okay, why aren't you resting there anymore? You don't want to rest up there for me. Come on. There we go. Well, my K2 meter just doesn't want to stop going off, so I don't think it's going to be very reliable tonight, but I do have a lot of equipment on right now beside me. And so it's probably going to pick up everything right now. I've got lights and everything beside me, so that's not going to be useful right now. What I did get today, however, you can make it cold in the house. Well, I do have a patio window open right now, so if you were to make it cold, I'm not sure that I would notice. So I received... Macy. Is that your name? Macy? That's the first time I've heard that name come up on here. Nice to meet you, Macy. My name is Sherri. We can use these devices to communicate with each other. As I was saying, I picked up a paranormal music box that came today. This is the sensor right here. And so it's going to make a bunch of noise and light up if something should happen to cross in front. And because I live alone, nothing should go off once I turn it on and I set it in place. That's the noise that it's going to make. I'm going to set it here. Are you going to stand up on my keys or not? Probably not well unless I balance you on something, hey? All right. Let's see if you'll stand up like that then. Can you turn off, please, laptop? It doesn't want to balance like that. Oh, look at that. I'm just knocking things down left, right, and center. Okay, you know what I'm going to do? Is what I did earlier tonight. Is I had my K2 just sitting here. And this resting up against there. Now, I'm going to keep setting it off because my hand's in front of the sensor. Oh, I know why it doesn't want to do it. Never mind. Instead of having it point out that direction, I'm going to lay it down flat. You guys will be able to see it a lot better, and if anything passes over top, it'll be able to pick it up anyway. Yes, I am in Camrose. You're in Calgary. That's not too far. I mean, it's a good drive, but it's not that far. So now, as long as my hand doesn't go anywhere near that, it should not go off. Likely, exactly. Likely it shouldn't go off, but I kept setting it off. Oh. So, yeah. It shouldn't be going off because I'm the only one here. If that's too loud, I may have to turn it off. It's very sensitive, apparently. I'm nowhere near it. I'm behind the camera, and that's in front of me. So that's strange. So was the K2 meter going off like that. It's usually bass, nothing happening when I turn it on and have it set up the way that I always do, but that's interesting that it's going off. Another piece of equipment that arrived today is a static meter, and that's not going to be very beneficial to turn on in front of you guys, but I can show you. I would just have to turn that off because obviously it's just going to keep going off. So I will do that for a minute because that is quite obnoxious, that sound, if it constantly going off. So this is a static meter, and it is going to detect this static electricity, we will not give off enough to make this go off. And so it'll be either a negative or a positive static charge that it's picking up. And so I'm just going to turn it on here, and then we can see if anything happens to come
permission
close as that as well. Permission. You'd like permission to do what? You have my permission to use some of my devices for energy, if that's what you like. I was supposed to have my EM pump here today, but unfortunately, there's issues because of the fires in Kelowna. And so the cat ball that fell off of my laptop, this is just a cat toy, and it has an on and off trigger on it. And so once it's turned on like this and it's allowed to settle, the only way that it should go off, and I'm just going to put it up against here so that it doesn't roll away. The only way that that should go off now is if it is physically being touched. Again, I turned the K2 meter off because it was just going bonkers for some reason tonight. And the only way that this should go off, because as you can see, I'm not affecting it whatsoever, is that if there's something it's picking up a static charge off of, and generally that would mean spirit, right? And so it'll be either a negative charge or a positive charge. So negative would be red, positive would be in the blue light. And earlier today I did find, oddly enough, around all of my crosses and my sage and my singing bowls and everything, of course, tarot cards, my Ouija board, I did find a lot of reaction on the static meter from there, and it was not positive, let me tell you. So something didn't want me over there. So yes, battery, permission and battery. You definitely have permission to use some of this battery. Please do not drain me of energy, but you can drain my devices if you like.
1940s.
You're from the 1940s. Are you from the 1940s, or did you pass in the 1940s? Can you give me some validation, some clarification maybe?
Smith.
Smith. Well, Smith is a very, very common name everywhere. Smith, 1940s. Maisie Smith. Does the name Smith or Maisie resonate with anybody that's here in the chat? Nothing happening on the static meter at all. Maybe if I just move it up a little bit more, we can get it in the picture with everything. Nope. That didn't work either. Okay, now that just went off because I vibrated the whole laptop. That was me. That wasn't Spirit doing that. So, can you tell me, Spirit, did you pass in the 1940s? Hi, everybody. Welcome in. We're just doing a spirit talker session, trying to communicate with the other side. Had some good communication so far. Mary Smith. Well, my goodness. There again. Very popular names. Maisie is not a popular name, however. So I don't know if anybody can relate to the name Maisie or Mary Smith, 1940s. How old are you, Spirit? Did you live in Canada? In Alberta? Can you give us anything to go on? Mary and Smith are very, very popular names, Spirit. I'm so sorry.
We're gathering.
You're gathering. Are you gathering energy? I'm investigating in Camrose, Alberta, Canada. I'm in my apartment. I actually have a lot of activity here. But if anybody has messages for Spirit and you feel like these messages might be connecting with you, and you have enough, you can request to come up in a box, and sometimes you're able to connect a little bit better. It's not a guarantee though. They can see who's watching in the chat, and so they do answer. This is great, isn't it? It's fantastic. We love it when you're here and so responsive. Do you need any more energy from batteries? I have plenty of light that I can give you that you can use. Please don't use my energy. I don't know why the music box is so sensitive. And it was probably quite obnoxious for you guys as well as it was for me, quite loud as much as it was going off. But I will probably try it again later. Now, as you can tell, the static meter hasn't gone off. The K2, again, I turned it off simply because there was something around here that was making it go off, which is so abnormal for it to be just sitting here. It doesn't normally do anything unless something's interacting. And sometimes the cat ball does go off every time a message comes through. It just depends on the strength of the entity that's trying to come through, right? Oh, you have a friend that lives here? That's awesome. I've lived in Camrose and the area for the last 28 years. Sacred ground. Yes, I do understand what you're saying. Now, unfortunately, about a month ago, I did an investigation alive at the cemetery here, and a elemental followed me home, and I ended up having to go and get a shaman about a week ago to finally help me because nothing that I was doing was helping. And all the messages that kept coming through were pointing to it being sacred ground and that it was cursed. And it made me feel very, very drained, very sick with migraines that would come and go at whim for the last 3 weeks. But like I said, about a week ago, I was able to get help with that. I think they're trying to point me to go back there. I did set up on a particular headstone, and the name did come through across 2 different lives. The last name was spelt different, but I mean, it's common for that to happen. I was planning on going there this weekend anyway, so I might have to go back and do some prayers and some cleansing. So if any of you that are watching aren't familiar with what's happening tonight, is I'm doing a spirit talker. Yes, the forest is home. I know, you've told me that numerous times, and that's how I know that you were an elemental, for sure. So a spirit talker is basically a portal of communication that you can talk to the other side, to those that have passed. And it's not a guarantee that you're going to have who you want to come through. It's not a guarantee that any of this is going to make sense to anybody or everybody. But I've had such success that my lives have exceeded 4 hours, and sometimes they've gone past 10. because the communication, in particular, like for one person in the chat, was so strong. Every message was just for them, and it was just constant over that time period. And I do have prayers and devices that can allow me to cross over a spirit. However,
1950s.
Okay, so now you said 1940s and 1950s tonight. However, I will not cross a spirit over that does not specifically ask. If they want to be if they want a prayer, that's fine. If they want me to try to cross them over, that's fine. But I won't do it unless they ask, because sometimes they get upset if you cross them over. They can become stuck. If they're not ready to go, all these horrible things can happen. Now, a few days ago, I did a live, and it was before the shaman came, and I was having issues with stuck energy. And the instant that I played the chimes, instantly the whole chat changed. Instantly, messages started coming through again. I sprayed my sage and salt. I mean, there's lots of devices that I have and utilities that I have at my disposal to protect myself. I don't suggest any of you try doing this at home, because it can get quite nasty. You don't know who you're communicating with. Okay, so now spirit, there's someone in the chat that would like to know about their life. Ancient spirit. Yes, I understand. Sacred ground, the forest is home, and that you are an ancient spirit. Why are you still here? The shaman told me that you were gone, and I suspected that you were not. I have suspected for the last 3 days now, because I've started feeling the pain in my lower leg again, like you are digging your bony little elbow into my knee. Spirit, I need you to give me anything more. I need someone to connect with somebody in the chat who would like to know about their life. This ancient elemental spirit that belongs in the forest on the sacred ground, you are not welcome to continue talking tonight. If you continue to talk to me, continue to talk to my chat, you're trying to stop me from talking right now. I'm going to go and get my things, and we're going to have a problem. Now, please, spirits, there's people in the chat that would like to speak to you. You're going to obscure my vision. Well, you've already been trying to obscure my thoughts and my speech. I'm already on the 3rd prescription in less than a year. I know what you're doing to me. Do you want me to go and get my devices? My crosses that are sitting right there, my sage, my sprays. I mean, I'm going to do that anyway. Let's just have a look. The static meter hasn't gone off. None of this stuff has gone off. I'm going to grab my things at my chair right here. And there's a few things that I can do to try to change the energies that's coming through and cleanse this bad spirit away a little bit. Them, hey? Them who? Them, the ones in the chat that are wanting you to stop preventing their kin from coming through, speaking to them. You are being naughty, and I'm about to be naughtier. Look what we have here, Spirit. We have Saint Michael. We have Saint Michael. Now, these nasty little spirits, they don't like, and I don't like calling them spirits because they're not. They are entities, these ones. I consider spirits to once have had a soul. Hello, welcome. What I'm going to do first is we're going to watch this chat change once I do this. And then I'm going to spray. I'm going to spray my sea salt and sage spray around me and around these devices. Then I'm going to do my singing bowl, because you see nothing's coming through because they're mad at me now, right?
She will touch you.
That's fine. She's more than welcome to come and touch me. I'm going to do just the single tones right now. I do have an SB7. However, when I'm doing live and it's this close, it's quite loud and it makes it very difficult for anybody to hear anything, even with my ANC device. So I'm choosing to do Spirit Talker for these little mini sessions. I'm also going to do my shaman drum, and I'm going to do a couple of tones here, and we're going to see if I can clear this entity away from the chat a little bit.
It's scary here.
Thank you, Spirit. Thank you. You see how that changed the tone of the chat? How it was, they're going to obscure my vision and sacred ground and all that stuff, and he was trying to, or she was trying to prevent me from talking. And once I started clearing the space, the Spirit was actually able to come through and let me know it's scary here. So thank you, Spirit, for validating that you were able to come through for me. Would you like me to try to cross you over? Or would you just like me to pray for you? Or do you have a message? There's 6 beautiful souls that are watching you right now that would like to know if you have messages for anybody. Sometimes if it's a fairly new spirit.
Honest.
Thank you. Thank you. I am trying to be as honest as I can. I like to be an authentic investigator. And I'm not going to do something I'm not capable of. I'm not going to do something that is out of my league. I'm not going to say something that I don't believe is true, because it doesn't help anybody. I'm here to help both sides connect with each other. I'm here to give life back to those that don't have it anymore, to give them a voice. Do you have a message for any of these beautiful people that are watching you? Chat would like to know if there's any loved ones with us. Sometimes if they're a fairly recent spirit, they don't understand, or they don't have enough energy. Some are scared of these devices as well.
Atmosphere.
Yes, I know. The atmosphere is not good. I did try to cleanse it. I should probably do a little bit more. I'm going to go and grab my tuning fork, and I'm going to grab another cross, okay? I'm going to try to help you, spirits. I will be doing a smudging later of both Palo Santo and sage. That sage and salt spray might not have been enough. And I only did single tones, right? And so those might not have been enough either. But I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to put my crosses here for you guys so that all of you spirits can try to come through. I've got St. Michael here as well. All right. I want to try to give you a safe space to come through and to speak to us and anybody that's here in the chat. Now again, it doesn't take much for this to go off. I don't have my K2 on because for whatever reason tonight, it just was going nuts when it normally doesn't when it's just sitting here. My static meter hasn't gone off at all. As you can see, it's just been in the base, right? And so obviously there's nothing that's coming right here. You are really here.
I'm really here.
Now, I am going to put my music box back on in a little bit, but because it won't stand up on my slanted surface of my laptop stand here, I was laying it down, and that means that the sensor was up here above everything. And so it doesn't make sense that it was constantly going off and it was really loud and obnoxious, but I am going to do that again. So you're really here, Spirit. I'm going to try to help you to come through a little bit. I'm going to make some more tones for you. Okay. I'm going to try to make some more calming tones for you to come through. All right, and I'm going to do the tuning fork as well. How's that for changing the atmosphere, Spirit? Did that help you out at all? Are you able to come through better now? You think there's one there where you work?
Be careful in here.
I am trying to be careful in here. That's why I'm protecting myself, and I'm trying to be very respectful. I know that I have a spirit, at least one spirit that is watching me and protecting me. They do come through the chat quite often to let me know that they are in the corner watching me and protecting me. Sometimes these energies get stuck, and if you try to get rid of them, they sometimes get angry. And that might be why this elemental is sticking around. But the energy is clearing. I feel it way less heavy in here. But I am going to turn on my music box, and we're just going to see if I can get any hits out of it. I mean, it was going off constantly when I had it up here. It is going to be loud, and it is going to be obnoxious when it goes off. So I apologize for that. And like I said, the sensor is right here. So the only way that it should be going off is if something crosses in front of it. Okay. And so I live alone, and because it's going to be pointed up at my ceiling, there's no way it should, or no reason why it should be going off. So we're just going to let it settle, and then we're going to watch. You're a woman? Well, I'm a woman as well, and it is very nice to meet you. Is this Mary that came through earlier? Is your name Mary Smith? Well, if it's a bad one, you can usually tell pretty quickly. They're going to make themselves known that they're a bad one. You can feel their energy generally. They may touch you, all those types of things. You may feel nauseated. But there's things also like high EMF that can do that as well. That's why it's good to use equipment like this that can try to determine if it is something that is explainable or not. I always try to debunk things before going immediately to the paranormal because, you know, there's some people out there.
What's your name?
My name is Sherri, or you can call me Riri. What is your name? Is this Mary? Can you tell me what your name is, Spirit? You did notice how the chat changed, right? Made you cry. Oh, so you saw it? Okay, so was it a human looking? Was it like very solid? Was it see-through? Was there color to it? There is absolutely nothing above me but ceiling. Air and ceiling. And the ceiling is way the heck up there. Way up there. There ain't nothing up there. Long white hair and it was see-through. Okay, so, and that doesn't determine if it is a bad or negative spirit either. If you were to have seen a shadow being, not a shadow or a spirit shadow, but an actual shadow figure, they are thick, they are darker than dark. They have no distinguishable features other than a human form. Sometimes they can be in an animal form even. Those things are very nasty, and wherever they are, you do not want to be. And in fact, if you're around spirits enough, you can start picking up on that dead energy and carrying it with you, and it can start making you very sick, and that's why it's important to be trying to, cleanse yourself and protect yourself. Hi there, welcome. We're doing a spirit talker session. We've already had to cleanse the space to get rid of 16. A nasty bugger that's trying to prevent communication. 16, okay. Now again, there is nothing above me for that to be going off. If you're wondering why only half of my curtains are done like that, the other ones haven't come in yet. They'll be here this week, by the end of this week. So the music box is going to keep going off as if something's floating right above me, huh? That's kind of creepy. All right. Awesome. Okay, so you asked my name and I gave it to you. Thank you. I asked what your name was and you told me 16. Can you tell me your name, please? I don't know how loud and obnoxious that is for y'all, but it's very obnoxious for me and loud. You're from Camrose? You know what, hun? If you're in Camrose and you would like to come, you're more than welcome. I'm walking everywhere these days. This is the 3rd October where my vehicle has needed work that I can't afford to get it back on the road. So I'm walking and carrying all my gear. And so I'm like dead after doing an investigation. I'm dead for like 5 days. Like no shit. I can't walk or anything. So if you want to come and help me or you just want to hang out, you're more than welcome. I'm actually thinking of going and doing the cemetery again this weekend. Burnt and 16. Okay, so I asked for your name and you gave me 16 and burnt. All right, I'm going to try to see here. Is there anybody in the chat that can resonate with 1940s or 50s? Could be late 40s, and that might be why they say 50s. Mary Smith, Maisie, 16, burnt. Well, if you've been attached to them, it could very well be that you're sensitive like me. Your father-in-law's in a cemetery in Camrose. Yeah, the big cemetery, the one that's right in the middle of Camrose. It's huge, and I can't even begin to tell you how long it would take for me to do it. I know, I still have that little bastard attached to me, don't I? Okay, so the only thing I will say, Christina, I'm actually going to turn this off for a minute because it is quite loud and it's making me yell, and I don't want to yell because I live in an apartment building with old people. The one thing I will say is that I did take home something with me. Yes, I know, death is not the end. Thank you for validating that for everybody. I did take something home with me when I did the cemetery. I did a live there a about a month ago, I guess, maybe a little bit over a month ago. I believe it was a little elemental sprite. And for 3 weeks, he made me very sick, or she, whatever it was, made me very sick. It keeps, it loves my right thigh right above my knee. And it's almost like when you have a little toddler that's fidgety sitting on your lap and their like bony little tailbone is digging into the meaty part of your thigh bone, or their little elbow is. It'll feel like that randomly. Or I get migraines that will come and go throughout the day, making me violently ill, and then they go away. And that just doesn't happen with migraines. I've been a chronic migraine sufferer most of my life, like over 40 years now. So I tried everything, all of my little tricks and everything, and I ended up contacting a shaman who came and told me that this thing was gone, but it's not.
Dead don't rest.
I know, and I'm very sorry. I'm very, very, very sorry for that. I enjoy going to cemeteries too, because these were once people. These were once people. Just because they don't have a physical vehicle anymore doesn't mean that they don't exist. Their spirit still exists, their thoughts still exist, their memories, still exist. They just don't have a place for them to look at. You know what I mean? It's not a little jar that you can go, oh, look, there's all the things I love about you. You can't do that. But when you go into a museum, you go into a cemetery, you go into a hospital, there's so much energy
19.
that happen there. So we've had 16 and 19. Those are the only 2 ages that have come through. But yes, you have to be very careful when you go to cemeteries, because you can take home stuff that doesn't want to go, like I have. Absolutely, you definitely should be paying your respects. And I'm the type of person that I don't like walking through the graves. I'm very careful about where I'm stepping, and sometimes I even get so creeped out of the fact that I'm walking on that space, because it's not drawn out exactly where they are. But I'm always paying my respects, and I'm always trying to make sure that I'm cleansed and grounding myself when I get back home. It's harder when you are already starting off weak, and that was the problem when I took this guy home with me from the cemetery.
Jasper.
Okay, Jasper, you said that again, hey? Okay, so tell me then, Spirit, you mentioned Jasper. Is this my brother Jackson trying to come through again? Because I don't think it is. I think that this is that little elemental brat that is trying to trick me. Yes, you have to say out loud your intentions, and you also have to let them know that they need to respect you as well. You have to set boundaries with the spirits. You don't go in definitely weak. I hadn't slept for 5 days when I went, and so I was already really vulnerable. And then because I'd walked there, and it took, it was 2.5-mile walk from my apartment to get to the cemetery. And then I did the live for an hour before it got too dark. You couldn't see my face anymore. And then I had to walk home carrying all this heavy gear. And I have 3 times as much gear as I did then now. And so I just made myself that much weaker. And this entity took full advantage, and that's something that can happen. So you have to be very careful when you go into places, especially cemeteries. This one keeps telling me that cemetery is cursed, that it was sacred, and I definitely do believe
tranquil
something about that is. You find it tranquil here now? I'm very glad, because I did everything. I pulled out all my tricks. There's only a few other things that I didn't try. And we don't need to go into that, because you're talking to us now. I'm very grateful for that. So, but if you've been like that since you were a child, like I said, it could be that you're sensitive. Now, I'm not a psychic or a medium, but I am a sensitive. I can pick up on energies. I know when I walk into a room, if it's a good energy or a bad energy. If there's been a lot of tension and arguing, it's like walking through a thick blanket, right? And if it's...
Don't push it.
Yes, don't push it. If it's happy and joyous and everything, you can feel the room feels a lot brighter and stuff. But there's things that I won't do because I'm not comfortable doing them. They're not safe for me to do them because I'm not a medium. And I think the more that people do this, the more sensitive and in tune to their bodies and energies that they do become too, right? And I've been doing this stuff for decades. I just didn't have all of these fancy bells and whistles. I had the very simple stuff, stuff that people like Zach Bagans are using now, the vintage stuff, because that's what I grew up with, Kodak cameras and not digital cameras. Up until recently, I wasn't using any of that stuff. But I've only started getting into filming what I'm doing, and therefore I want to show people the scientific part of it. And so I have all the bells and whistles. My next big purchase is the SLS. And I know a bunch of people in the paranormal community that build their own. They modify their own, and so for very cheaply I can have one done because they're quite expensive. But anytime if you want to come along, watch, whatever. Like I said, I'm probably going to do the cemetery this weekend. I just don't know if I want to do it Saturday or Sunday. It just depends on how I'm feeling, what the weather's like, because if it's going to be super hot or if it's going to be rainy, no. If it's going to be mosquito hell no. Because let me tell you, they love me at that cemetery. The mosquitoes.
Bad entities here.
Oh, I know there's bad entities here. I'm doing what I can to get rid of them, though. How many bad entities are here? Can you tell me, Spirit, how many bad entities are here? Ever since I cleansed it up a little bit, the chat's been different coming through. Like the messages have been different, but it's been slower. But like I said, sometimes they don't understand how these things work. And they may be unfamiliar with them. They may be a little scary for them. And that's why, like my boo buddy was supposed to be here last week. And then it told me it was going to be here today. And now it's not going to be here till Friday, I guess. But it's just a poodle, a stuffed poodle. And it has REM pod parts in it. And so to a spirit, that just looks like something they would recognize, right? A stuffed animal. And they might be more apt to interact with that than the typical REM pod because it's loud and obnoxious too. Freeze. Well, you did tell me that you could make it cold in here, and I did tell you that that window is open and it's chilly. So, are you going to make it colder in here? I can get my thermal cam. Why don't I do that? Let me grab my thermal camera and we'll just see if it's going to make it cold in here or not. So, for those of you that don't know what a REM pod is that I was just talking about, this is a REM pod.
Died in battle.
Died in battle. Oh my goodness, I'm very sorry. Thank you for fighting for us. I'm sorry that you lost your life. So this is a REM pod, and what this does, I'm just going to move these things out of the way. They're not even going off anyhow. So what this does is it lights up and it makes a bunch of noise, but we have EMF in our system. Like we emit energy, an electromagnetic field, right? We are energy beings. All of this equipment will emit it as well. And so normally when this is sitting here, it isn't really going off because there's not a lot coming off of these. However, beside my microwave and my fridge, which are both very old, this thing goes crazy and it's all bells and whistles. So I'll just show you when I turn it on and get everything all zeroed out, what it does when something comes near it.
Welsh.
So now if there is an entity, because my laptop and my tablet are on and everything, I'm just going to show you like this. Okay, stop. So this is what it would be normally doing sitting on my laptop. So now if a spirit was to come, they would have to get close enough to it, and it's going to tell you the direction that it's in and temperature changes and whatnot, right? All that Boo Buddy is this taken apart and put inside of a stuffed animal, and that will make it more likely for a child to interact with it, but also other spirits are going to look at it and think it's not so scary. And so, you know, I'm really looking forward to that getting here, because I've been waiting forever for it already, but it has to come from Great Britain. And these devices are so loud and obnoxious in these little areas, and that's why I don't like turning them on. But it's basically the exact same thing that the K2 does, only this can't tell you, you know, the direction it's going. Now, normally this is what it would be like sitting here. It would be low greens. Earlier, it just was going crazy, and there was no reason for it. See, now it's not doing anything, right? Barely anything. And the fact that it's jumping and not jumping means that there's something causing that to happen. So, you died in battle and you're Welsh. You said freeze and now you say warm. So I'm going to grab my thermal cam, and we're just going to find out what the temperature changes, if there's any at all. Because I know that you do like to do that. But there shouldn't be any major temperature changes happening inside. So this is my thermal camera, and so you're going to be able to see cold and hot spots. And so if I point it over here at my curtains. Talking. You've missed talking? Oh, that's very sad. That's very sad. Who am I speaking to? And so right now it looks like that there's a figure standing there in front of my curtains. Okay, I don't know how well you guys can see that, but to me it looks like there's a figure standing there in front of my curtains, right? That's not actually a figure. That is that. But it thinks that it's a figure because it looks like it has a head and a body and legs. And that is something, right? It looks like a little child standing there. That is something that people don't understand when they're doing stuff like this, is that even your SLS camera can pick up what it thinks is a human, and it's just mapping something like a stand fan in your living room with a big round head and a body and legs, right? And so you want to debunk that stuff, because if you're going to be a good investigator, you need to. So again, it still looks like there's a person there, but it's just that, right? But you can tell the difference in temperature of my curtains. You can tell where the window's open, it's bluish green, and then where the lights are making it warmer up top, it's yellow and red. And so if there was something in here that was making it get really warm or really hot, we would be able to see, right? And so the temperature of that is 15 degrees. It's not even turned on. But up here, 15.3, over here at where the window's open, 13.6, 13.8. So it's not affecting the temperature in here by any means, like it's telling me. It's just Josh and me. Now the other thing with
children here.
Well, you think that there's a child here, but that's not a child. That's not a child on there, okay? What that is it's not a child. It's just my stand. You're trying to trick me. There might be children here, but I do not physically see them here. How many children are here? Now, as I said, if you want to come up, if you think that you might be connecting or somebody might be trying to connect with you, you can, if you have enough, you can request to come up into the box, because that might help you connect with spirit just a little bit better. It's not a guarantee, because it's happened for some people in my chat and others no. But it's up to you guys if you want to or not. Vision, yes, I know you keep talking about my vision. You've already affected my vision considerably. This is my 3rd prescription change in less than a year. In 9 months, actually. Sorry, guys, I'm just trying to plug my phone in because it's draining my battery really fast on my phone tonight. Because it did ask for battery earlier. So, how many children are here then? Because I don't believe that this is a spirit. I think this is that entity that I'm talking to. So I'm just going to reiterate that I have my protection here. All right. I've got all my sprays and everything just waiting. That's St. Michael right there. So how many children are here, since you keep telling me that children are here?
I remember you.
You remember me? You remember me from the cemetery? Is that where you remember me from? How about you tell me where you remember me from? Where do you know me from, Spirit? Hi there, welcome. You're awfully quiet tonight right now, Spirit. Do you need some help coming through? Do you need me to clean a little bit more? Should we try that? We're going to try doing a single tone again. Sometimes that's just enough to back away any entities that might be preventing communication. It's really quiet. Normally it's like a lot louder or a lot more frequent. Leo. Is this Uncle Leo? Is this my Uncle Leo? Well, in order for me to believe that, you're going to have to give me something big. Something huge. I need some kind of validation, Leo, that this is you. Can you give me some kind of validation, Spirit, to let me know that this is the Leo that I think it is? My grandmother's brother passed away a few months ago, and his name was Leo.
Children.
Oh, so you're still bringing up the children, hey? Well, I am connected with children in numerous ways, and Leo, yes, that could have been validation as well, because you are a large family. What were you, 14 children, and then Grandma had 12. I'm the oldest of 10. I've been in childcare since I was 10, so I was in childcare for over 35 years. I'm a grandma now. Senses. Okay. Senses. I'm not sure why that keeps popping up on there. I'm not sure what you mean by that. I mean, you've been telling me that you're affecting my vision, so that's one of the senses. I'm not sure who these messages are for because you're all over the place. So I'm going to do some more energy cleansing, and we're just going to see if we can get something better to come through. I'm going to do some more of my wood sage and sea salt spray, and we're just going to see if we can't get some of this energy cleared, especially around myself because I can feel it. And we are going to do a couple of tones, a singing bowl as well.
I'm a little sad.
Oh, there we go. That makes me very unhappy to hear that. Is there something that I can do to make you happier? Now, Spirit, I can pray for you, or I can try to cross you over, but I need you to tell me which one that you would like, because I will not cross over a spirit that does not want to be crossed over. It smells so delicious in here because of my spray. I just love it. It's like a burly man just walked in and wrapped his arms around me. It smells so good. Immediately lifts my spirits. So I'm going to go ahead and put the music box back on here. Now again, it's so loud, and you know, there's no way of turning the volume down. As you can see, there's just nothing, right? And this is the on off switch, and this is the sensor right here. And so this is just the light, right? And so in order for anything to make this go off, it has to pass in front of this sensor. And so by having it lay down in front on top of my laptop, pointed up at my ceiling, there's no reason for it to go off. 8. Okay. 8. Are you 8 years old? I mean, earlier there was 8 people in here, and I had asked you how many souls were watching, but you didn't answer me. But I think that yeah, so there's no reason for that to go off because I'm the only one here. And there's obviously nothing right in front of the screen or above that's making it go off. So I don't understand. I don't understand why it's going off. When it arrived, I had it in my kitchen, and I kept walking to see where it was going to pick it up at. And sometimes I needed to be right in front of it. Sometimes I had to be far away from it. So I don't understand what's happening. But there's absolutely nothing above it except for a ceiling that is, 8 feet above it? It makes no sense. It makes no sense. Ah! Stop! Matthew. Well, it's been a while since we had a name come through. And only with 1 T. Isn't that bizarre? Is there anybody in the chat that resonates with Matthew? Perhaps spelt that way? Maybe last name, first name, middle name, street that you grew up on. Yeah, that's really fucking freaky, okay? Stop doing that. Stop it! No! Stop it! Okay, I'm going to put my hand, when it stops, I'm going to put my hand over top of it so that you guys can see, like, okay, so my hand is right here. That's how close you have to be. Can you see anything in the freaking way? Because I sure can't. I don't understand. Okay. Since you want to keep playing with that, I'm going to turn the static meter back on then. Because you're really like annoying me with that. I'm just going to do that, and I'm going to go ahead and put the static meter on. It wasn't going off at all. But we're just going to go ahead and see, and maybe
They never found me.
Oh no, that is terrible. I am very sorry to hear that. Oh my gosh, they never found you. That's awful. Okay, so again, I'm just going to put the static meter here, and we're going to watch, and we're going to see if there's any static change. If it's a negative static charge, it'll be in the red. If it's positive, it'll be in the blue. So yeah, we're just going to go ahead and just erase. There we go. Zeroed everything out. And so now, if anything comes on there, it's going to show, right? Like my hand's not affecting it at all. This is off. It's not affecting it at all. It's on the on laptop and beside the on tablet in front of the on phone. Nothing is changing that whatsoever because it takes something significant with a significant static charge in order for it to go off. Yeah, it's just a standard tone that the company uses. You could...
Nice to meet you.
Well, it's very nice to meet you, too. You could have... Like, I could have personalized the tone to have it play pretty much anything. I kind of was thinking the Scooby-Doo theme at one point, but then I thought, no, that might get really super annoying after the first 5 times, but this one is way more annoying. Way more annoying. I think I would have much preferred even Phenomena over this. Well, maybe not. Maybe not. But yeah, there's no reason for that to have kept going off, so I don't know why it's doing that. It's very weird. But my security camera in my apartment is constantly sending me notifications. And it's just orb activity constant in my kitchen, between my baking area, my microwave. It just loves that area. And that microwave is secondhand. I don't know how old it is. I don't know who owned it before because I got it from a restore in Camrose here. And about... maybe a little 2.5 years ago now. And ever since then, I've had nothing but orb activity. Just constant. Like, I have to turn my camera off during the day when I'm here, which I don't really need it on anyway when I'm here, because it just is constantly filling up my memory with pictures of orbs. Now, tonight, the chat has been very quiet. The only time that it was really rapid and very active was when there was a nasty little bugger that's attached to me coming through, and I've cleansed the space a couple times now, and so it's backed off. All right, love. Okay, so you want to send love to somebody? You have a message of love for somebody in the chat? Again, I'll just remind anybody, if you think that you might resonate with any of these messages, or you want to try to connect with somebody better, you can request to come up in a box. I'm not going to guarantee that that's going to work because you can't with spirits, you know. They're people without a vehicle to be in, right? And so they can decide what they want to do, and sometimes they just don't want to talk. Sometimes they don't have the energy to talk. They don't know how to do it. But all they do is they manipulate a database of words that is stored inside of this app. And some of the things that come through, I mean, I had a 10-hour Spirit Talker session, and some of the words that came through just blew me away. Like the names, I've never heard of names like that unless they were from, like, the 1600s, like the name Elric came through. The word thumbscrew came through, which is a medieval torture device. There's no reason why those words would be in this database, right? And also, there's no sentences in this database, by the way. It's just single words, and there's no punctuation, like no question marks or exclamation. And I get lots of sentences. I get lots of question marks. I've had 1 or 2 exclamation points. I'm safe here. That is very nice to know, because I like to make my home a safe space. It's safe here for you, too. As long as you are good to me, I'll be good to you. Beard? You have a beard? Your name's Matthew and you have a beard and you're 8? Wait, I'm very confused, Spirit. I think there might be some miscommunication happening here. I'm a little sad. 8, Matthew, they never found me. Nice to meet you. Love, you're safe here. Beard. Huh. Well, I don't have a beard, and if you think I have a beard, then I need to go and, like, maybe do some makeup. Definitely don't have a beard, you guys. See? There's no beard on my face. There isn't. I mean, I got lots of hair, but not on my face. Ugh. I mean, when I had my hair up in a messy bun, they kept telling me nice hat, like 4 times. They're like, nice hat. I'm like, it's not a hat. Now that I'm wearing a hat, you say nothing. I'm a little offended, honestly. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Anytime that you open,
toys.
So you like the toys, hey? Well, here, I'm going to put the cat ball back up there for you to try to play with again. It just likes to roll around, but so once this stops, because this is the on-off button, right? So once I press on and I allow it to settle down, the only way that it should come back on and do that is if something is manipulating it, or if, you know, this happens to get jolted enough, my laptop happens to get jolted enough, that can make it go off. But I just did that and it did nothing, right? Okay, so abandoned. You said that again. You said that you were abandoned. They never found you. You said abandoned again. And once you open up a doorway of communication, right? Whether it's this way or, you know, spirit writing or Ouija, however you want to do it, anything can come through. And that's why you have to be really careful. Anything good, anything bad. And it doesn't mean that they're going to leave just because you're done talking either. You know, and those energies, they sometimes like to stick to you like a magnet. They're little energy vampires is what I call them. Especially the little nasty entities. Like the one that followed me home from the cemetery. All they want is to drain you and cause chaos, right? They want to oppress you because it wears you out and gets your anxiety going, and they can feed off of all of that. I have an EM pump and a boo buddy that was supposed to show up today, and the EM pump will give them energy boost without draining me and without entirely draining these devices. My best evidence would probably be when I did in Banff. I had an amazing investigation at the Fairmont in Banff, I have to say. I saw a giant floating orange orb in front of me and my daughter. I got it on camera. There was a bunch of, I want to say like early 20s, maybe late teens girls that were staying there in a room, and they were all freaked out. They had their door popped open and they kept coming out in the hall and freaking out because there was no guests in the hotel room. Listen. I'll finish that in a minute. Apparently Spirit has a message for me, so I'm going to wait and listen, and then I'll finish my story. And on that note, fire in the hole for anybody that's interested. Go for it. We're waiting. We're waiting, Spirit. Come on. Okay, well, I'm going to finish my story. Oh, it's unpleasant here?
It's unpleasant here.
I'm very sorry. Would you like me to help you to cross over? I need you to tell me if you want prayers or if you want to be crossed over. So anyway, back to my story. There was no guest staying
Unfinished business.
You have unfinished business. Okay. Okay. So you don't want me to cross you over yet. That's fine. I can do some prayers for you later, though. When I close out the session and I go to cleanse, I will do prayers. Do you want pagan prayers? So there was no guests of the room that was next door to them, and they kept hearing bangs and knocks. And they kept getting freaked out, and they would go and they would listen, and they could see a light at the bottom of the door, and they talked to the concierge, and who assured them that there was absolutely no guests staying there. And so when they saw me and my daughter were asking questions and taking pictures and everything, they of course were interested in what I was doing. And so I told them, I'm an investigator. I was doing a ghost hunt. And so we had this conversation, and I was able to debunk the light. It was actually the hall light was reflecting off of the carpet strip in front of the door. And so that was fine. But I never heard any knocks or bangs, but I also didn't hang out there for hours like they were. They'd also been drinking and stuff. So I don't know how valid that experience was, but I know what I caught on camera, and I know what I saw with my own two eyes was a giant orange glowing orb in the hallway. And
Memories here.
that picture is up on CPR on Facebook if anybody wants to go look at it. I also had caught on film with my one ex. He was a severe alcoholic. Hey Benny, how's it going? And his mother had passed away from alcoholism, and we had some activity in the home, and I managed to catch some pictures where it looks like an arm punched him in the face. All of those pictures are up on Camrose Paranormal Research on Facebook, if anybody wants to go and see those. And there is some videos on YouTube as well that are much longer videos than can be posted on here. There's memories here and unfinished business. How was your day? You had a good day, Benny? I'm doing pretty good, just trying to connect with spirits here. It's been relatively quiet. Yeah, you had a good day. That's good. I noticed that everybody else was live, so. I'm not going to be doing this for much longer anyway. There's not a lot coming through. But like I was saying, if you wanted to pop up in a box and try to communicate again, if you want to try to connect with your cousin again, we can try to do that. Oh, you were playing PS4. There you go. All right, you can come on up.
The house.
The house. Now I wonder, as soon as you joined, it said the house. So I wonder, Ben, if that is maybe your cousin trying to come through, maybe bringing up memories, because it says unfinished business, memories here, and the house.
Wow.
Yeah, so maybe somebody is trying to connect with you tonight.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's
there's
awesome.
more people in the room tonight than there was the other night too, right?
Yeah. Hey, Ian, are you trying to connect with me?
Lead sprinkler?
Lead sprinkler.
Does that mean something to you? Lead sprinkler? Like, did you guys used to have an old sprinkler that you guys used to
Yeah, we
run
did.
to? You did?
Yeah.
There you go.
Finally, Ian.
Right? Sometimes it just takes them a little bit longer to figure out how to get messages through, or maybe there was spirits here that were a lot louder, or bullying their way to the front before. You know what I mean?
Hey, Ian, do you miss Benny?
I'm pretty sure that that would be a yes anyway. You're a pretty likable guy. I could see anybody missing you.
Mm-hmm. I sure do miss him. It's been 2 years to the day, and it's just.
Oh, wow. 2 years today?
Mm-hmm.
That's awful. I'm so sorry, Ben.
Oh, no
I'm so
problem.
sorry.
I miss a guy.
Yeah. That's the thing about when a loved one passes, is that we want to be selfish and we want to keep them here because we hurt, but they're still with us. Oh,
Yeah.
see,
Your
look at
family.
your family, Benny.
Yeah, there we go.
See, your family's coming through to talk to you.
Mm-hmm. I
Yeah.
miss you, E. A day doesn't go by that I don't think of you.
How old was he?
He was 29, gonna be 30.
Oh my goodness, he was so young.
Yeah, he was.
Okay, now I don't want you to say anything about what happened. I want Spirit to give me some kind of validation. Spirit, do you know how you passed? Because I think I remember what you said, but I want validation from them. If you don't want to admit that, then you can give something else that we might understand. An emotion tied to it, maybe. Sometimes when they go so quickly or unexpectedly or tragically, it's a lot harder for them to communicate as well.
Mm-hmm.
They might not fully understand that they're gone. Sometimes they get stuck in their death state, and that's incredibly sad. They just every day, all day is Groundhog Day. Like I can't imagine how awful that would be.
Yeah.
And to me, and this is only my opinion, that this is hell, and anything beyond this is not.
Killer.
Ooh, okay.
What?
Killer.
Killer.
Okay. Well, I asked for validation on how they passed, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I said that they didn't have to admit it, but that they could give a clue. That is kind of in the way that they went. It's just that the killer was not your typical suspect. It was something different, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it was an overdose.
Yeah, and that's very sad. My my one brother, he was 25, and he had taken a couple of oxys, which I'm on every day for pain, but I'm on very low dosages and they're slow release. So you can't get high off them, right? And he made himself a drink of rum and coke.
Yep.
And he did some spice, which is a mixture of things that you can get anywhere, I guess. And he never woke up.
Jeez.
And he was 25.
Wow.
And
I'm so sorry.
that was really hard, because just a couple years before that happened, we were informed about my other brother who was murdered by his mom, and then she took her own life. And
Wow.
so
Oh,
I've lost two siblings in tragic ways like that. So I definitely understand that kind of pain that you're going through. That very sudden, tragic, you're never going to get closure type of a loss is awful.
Mm-hmm.
Especially because of their age. Now, I remember it said hall the last time. Are you sure that there's nothing to do with maybe when he passed? Did you guys get together at a hall to celebrate his life or anything like that?
It was the like to go look at him at the funeral home.
Right?
And that was the saddest thing I ever seen. Like it. First his mom went in to see him and talk to him
Right.
and sit with him for a while, and then I went in and I bawled my eyes out. Like it just took me by.
Hat.
Nice hat. Oh yeah, he used to wear hats.
You know what's really funny too is you say that he used to wear hats. Just before you hopped in, I was just telling them about how I had my hair in a messy bun the other day, and it kept making fun of my hair by saying, "Nice hat, nice hat." And so I said, and today I'm wearing a hat, and it never said that. And now it just came through and said that. So that's funny. That could be him validating that too, right?
Yeah.
Now, uh, it wasn't an open casket, was it?
Yes, it was.
It was. Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
it
So
was.
that makes it that much harder for you. Um, and I completely understand that too, because I've been to one open casket and I didn't want to go and say goodbye to my grandpa that way. I didn't want that to be the last image I had of him.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all I remember him as now. And that's exactly what I was afraid of. And so that could be why this is extra hard for you, is because you had that moment too.
Mm-hmm.
There's some things that you can do to try to help. Do you have Epsom salts at all, like bath salts?
No, I don't. Not at home here.
I know the dollar stores have these little bags of them that you can get. I
Mm-hmm.
think they're like $2 or $2.50 even at. I think you can actually get some at Dollar Tree if you can find any. You don't need very much. You only need like a third of a cup to half of a cup of bath salts. And
Mm-hmm.
when you're sprinkling it into your water, it doesn't matter the scent that you get, it doesn't even have to be scented, but when you're sprinkling it into your bath water, you just have to say everything that you wanted to say to him and then bathe yourself in that. And as that water is being flushed down the drain, some of those emotions that you're tying to that pain can go away with it, and it'll help to
Don't
cleanse
trust the
your
bad ones.
energy. Yes, do not trust the bad ones. Amen to that. Amen to that, spirit.
Mm-hmm.
Ian, right? His name is Ian?
Yeah.
Okay, so Ian,
Yeah.
I would like to hear from you, Ian. If you would like me to pray for you, I can pray for you. If you would like me to try to cross you over, I can try to cross you over, but I need you to give me an answer. If you want prayers, you can just say anything to do with that. If you want to go to God, I need something more like God and heaven to come through. Do you know what religion he was?
No, I don't. Not at the moment. There's nothing said about religion or anything like that. Like
Was
he
his
didn't
service
like religion.
at a
He did.
church?
He just wanted to do drugs every day. Like he wouldn't stop. Like everybody got him into a corner one day and said, "Look, you can't be doing this," and everybody knew it was coming to an end. And
Right.
we told him over and over that he should be quitting drugs, and he wouldn't want to do it. So
So you guys did have an intervention for him.
yes, we did. Yeah.
But when you had the service for him, was it held at a church? Was there a priest or anything like that?
No.
No? Okay. Okay, so Spirit,
Just a
again,
funeral
if you
home.
would like me to just pray for you, I need you to come through and say something like that. Oh
I
gosh.
snatch the soul.
Okay, no, no, no. I don't want you to say anything right now, Benny. Don't say anything right now. Clear your thoughts right now because I need to get rid of this entity that's here right now. That's saying that. Somebody because of how your cousin passed, that message could be coming through maliciously, and so I'm just going to try to cleanse here, so I don't want you to say anything. Just try to clear your mind of anything. Okay, Wally, no problem. I'm just going to try to cleanse the area right here. I don't want any bad thoughts coming through anybody's head right now. Just think happy thoughts, good memories, heaven, all that kind of stuff.
Below.
Oh, shit. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna stop right here because those two messages right there, those are not good messages. So I'm gonna tell you what I think because I'm not a medium, I'm not a psychic, but I pick up on energies. What I'm feeling right now is that he was being affected so bad by the drugs that this is the drug him that's talking. This is the that's him. This isn't a bad spirit, but this is him being influenced by the drugs, and this here is him before the drugs. Don't trust the bad ones. And then I think he's kind of stuck in that state of actively dying, actively being an addict. And that's why I want to stop the cleansing right now because he could come back and attack me. So I don't want to piss him off anymore.
Williams.
Williams, does that make sense to you?
William Dempster.
Yeah?
Ian William Dempster.
There you go. Thank you for validation, Ian. That is awesome. Thank you. I appreciate you. That's why I stopped doing what I was doing because I think I was irritating you and I'm very sorry. Thank you, Spirit, for validating that for me, though. I appreciate you. Now, I have my static meter here to show if any energy comes around. If it's a bad energy, it's going to be in the red. If it's a good energy, it's going to be in the blue. This thing has not gone off at all night. However, my music box has. And my music box, I'm just going to turn the static meter off, move it out of the way. My music box.
Question.
Oh, you have a question. Okay.
What's that, Ian?
What is your question, Spirit? What is your question? This is the sensor on the music box right here. So if anything comes in front of this, just like a motion light, it's going to play music. And because this is on a slanted surface of my keyboard, it doesn't want to stand up. And so I was laying it down flat, faced up at the ceiling, and it kept playing music as if something was hovering right here above my laptop earlier. And yeah, so I'm going to turn my K2 meter on though, because it was behaving erratically earlier. Okay, so it's calmed down more now. Something's wanting to come through. What's your question, Ian?
What's your question, Ian?
Rose.
Rose.
I can see it. My meter jumped too, so it took a little bit of energy push to get that message through. So I don't know if that's for you or what, but Rose, was there roses there when he passed?
No, there wasn't.
Did he have a tattoo of a rose? Did he know a rose? Does his mom have a tattoo in memorial or a picture or something?
I think the girl that he's living with, her name was Rose or something like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure Rose. Yeah, I think so. Something to do with that anyway.
Oh, shoot. I forgot to invite Threeper to this too because he wanted to know when I was coming on next too. Um, so, oh, okay. Spirit, can you give a message to Benny to put his heart at rest? Can you give him anything that can help heal his hurt?
Court.
Court? Wait a minute. Question Rose and Court. Was he going to propose to somebody? Or is somebody getting married?
No, he,
Like, did somebody recently get engaged, maybe?
no, not that I can think of.
Because sometimes that's what they like, because they're aware of big things, right? Big events and stuff.
Arrest.
Oh, maybe he's talking about being arrested.
Yeah,
Question
he
Rose
was in a
Court
lot of
arrest.
trouble with the RCMP because of his
Oh,
drugs
okay.
and stuff like that.
And if Rose was some girl that he was involved with, then maybe she needs to be questioned about it. Maybe that's why he said question Rose,
Yeah,
court arrest. Maybe it wasn't accidental. Maybe somebody did that to him.
maybe.
I mean, that's possible, right?
Yeah,
Injury.
Injury, yeah.
injury. Yeah, yeah. Because my
Have you been
cousin, when I was talking with his
right?
mom said that there was something strange about his death, like the way it went down. Like, so I don't know if there's someone in that hotel that did this to him.
Yeah.
And I still don't know who it is, but I'm gonna find out.
I mean, it's very possible. And sometimes this is how they come through, right? Sometimes they have to give you bits and pieces. Um, I would definitely look more into that Rose Court arrest injury because, yeah, it might not have been an accidental overdose. It might have been, you know, a homicide. Somebody may
Yeah.
have done this to him.
Uh-huh. This is what I'm getting feelings of. Like, it's all coming true now. Like, it's all, you know, that's awesome. Good. I'm getting
I'm
some
glad.
answers finally.
Yeah, I'm really glad that, because I felt really awful that he wasn't coming through earlier, but that's sometimes how it goes. Just because we want to talk with somebody doesn't mean they're ready to talk to us.
Mhm.
You
Have
have
memories.
you have memories? Oh,
Yeah.
that's beautiful. I love that. You have memories with Benny?
Yeah, he does. Lots of them.
So the age difference between you two must have been pretty big then, hey?
Oh yeah, like I babysat him and his little friend. Oh, I can't remember his little friend's name, but his mother too. He died also. His friend died, and so they're together in heaven, and they were quite the pair when they were little. I tell you,
Oh.
I babysat the both of them, so I know.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Kids have been such a big part of my entire life. Like, I'm the oldest of 10, and I started babysitting for family members when I was only 5 years old,
Mm-hmm.
and then started babysitting my sister on my own when I was 7, and took babysitting course at age 9 when you were supposed to be closer to 12.
Mm-hmm.
And then that became my career for over 35 years was childcare.
Mm-hmm.
I love teaching kids and watching kids learn through play, right?
Mm-hmm.
They don't understand that they're learning, they're just having fun. I love watching them learn and be creative.
Mm-hmm.
Dorothy.
Dorothy. That's weird. I've never heard of anybody named that before.
Okay, well, I mean, I have had my aunt come through a couple times where her last name is Thompson and she's brought through Harriet and Raymond. And now my uncle Raymond is married to Harriet, but Harriet's first name is Dorothy. We just call her Harriet, not Dorothy. So that's a little weird. But if this is Auntie Lynn, can you tell me, was that Uncle Leo that came through earlier tonight? Or how about this? How about this? What instrument, pick any one of them, did your mother play? My grandma. Because we all know which instruments that she plays.
Mm-hmm.
What was her favorite? How about that one? My grandma is 99 and even though she has had dementia for the last 20 years or so, she still plays music like nobody's business. You put
Mm-hmm.
an instrument in front of her and she just goes and goes and goes. It's incredible.
Wow.
So, Spirit, is Ian still here? I think maybe the have memories. Remember, I said, can you give Benny a message to heal his heart a little bit?
Mm-hmm.
That might have been that one because then you
Yeah.
talked about you
Watch
babysitting him and
out.
his friend. Oh, watch out.
What?
Oh, okay. Watch out. No, I did just ask him if he had any more messages for you. So maybe he's trying to tell you to be careful. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
because you're looking into how he died.
Mm-hmm.
You know, maybe
Okay.
he wants you to be careful.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Ian.
Did he live close to you?
I lived in the townhouse where I live now. That's where I found out that he had passed.
Okay.
I was sitting on the couch and my mom had phoned me, and they were up laying with Ian when they had all the wires connected to him, and when he had passed, they had everything in his nose
Right.
and everything, and it was horrible. Like my mom goes, "Don't come over here." He was in a hotel when he passed away, the Innisfil
Oh,
Hotel,
that's
when
so
he
sad.
overdosed, and it was horrible. Like he wasn't breathing. He was just laying there, white as a ghost, and it was just horrible, I guess. And
Was he by himself or was there somebody there with him when he was
first it
found?
was his mom,
Right.
and then she phoned my mom and dad at home and told them to come over, and they both my mom and dad went over there and sat with Val and Ian, and they were hooking up all the wires to his nose and throat and everything, and I guess it was just horrible. They
Yeah,
tried
it's
to
not
revive
good to
him, but there was
watch.
no way.
It's not a good thing to watch. I mean, I found my mother-in-law, I tried to do CPR on her to revive her and she was so far gone already and it was absolutely
Street.
gut-wrenching.
Street.
Street. Oh, watch out, street. And see, you're walking everywhere like I am, right? So you
Yep.
better be careful when you're walking. I think he's trying to tell you to be careful.
Hmm. Yeah, I'll be careful, Ian. I just want to find out some things, E. He hated that nickname. I
Really?
used to call him EA for Ian,
Yeah.
and he hated it. And every time I see him, I go, "Hey, E," and he goes, "Benny, don't call me E." And he just hated it so much.
Yeah, I think that it was kind of a playful back and forth between the two of you, though, right? Like how you and Cressler bug each other.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, it's more out of love than anything. Oh, see, he wants you to
Please
keep
keep talking.
talking.
I love you, Ian. So
Oh,
much.
that's so sweet. Oh,
You
it's
were my
really
world,
sad.
my little man. You still are to this day. There isn't a day that doesn't go by that I don't think you, Ian.
Oh, that's
You
very
know, when he was laying in his casket, his dad came in. Everybody dispersed. Like right now, like he got off his motorcycle, came in, and he just started bawling. It was
oh.
just unbelievable.
Well, he was very young, and it's very sad and tragic and fast the way it happened. And I think
Closer.
you're coming closer. I can tell. I was just gonna say, I think somebody's trying to come closer because my lights are going crazy here. So, it's okay. You can come closer if you need to.
Come on, Ian. You can come closer, buddy.
If you need more energy, please come closer and I can give you some more, okay? So I'm going to turn my music box on and we're going to see because, like I said, the sensor is going to be pointed up at my ceiling. So if it starts going off, then that means something is really close to us. We just got to wait for it to settle down. I'm just going to move my crosses out of the
Innocent.
way. You were innocent, hey?
Yeah, he was an innocent little boy.
So was this an accident, Ian? Or did somebody do this to you? Oh, look at that EMF meter going off.
Wow.
Wow, it
Look
just
at that.
spiked. It just spiked red. It's okay. You can come closer.
Come
You
on,
can come
Ian.
closer. Come on.
Come on, little man. Danny's
Yeah,
right here.
that's
Never
right. Come
leaving.
on. Come closer.
Come on, E.
You have a message to come through. Was this an accident or did somebody do this to you? I have this feeling that it was not him. I have a feeling it was meant to look like that, though.
Mhm. Come on, E. Can you tell us, was it an accident or did someone do this to you?
And the music box isn't going off anymore. How it was going off often earlier, it was just annoying. I had to turn it off.
Hmm.
So you can come closer. That's okay. Come on.
Come on, E.
There you
I
go. I
love
know it
you, E.
takes a lot of energy to do that. There we go. That was a good one. Come on.
Come on, E. You can do it. Come on, my little man. Oh, yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Now we're rolling.
Somebody's really trying to come through for you.
Ian, I love you so
Introduce
much.
yourself.
Introduce yourself.
Okay.
So,
My
Ian,
name
it's
is
Benny.
Sherri, and this is Benny. My name is Sherri. This is Benny, and we are trying to communicate with Ian.
Ian, I love you so much, my little man. You know, like the world isn't the same without you.
That's beautiful. And it's working. You can see that it's working.
I wish you were still here, E. You know, I miss you, little man.
I made that go off. Sorry.
Oh,
I just want to put the static meter here as well so that we can see if something comes closer that way. Okay, so can you tell us if this was an accident or if this was malicious?
come on, E. You can tell Benny what happened.
This is a safe space for you, Spirit. Eric.
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 Ooh. So there's a name.
Yeah.
I wonder. Oh,
Ian, was that you that set that off?
I mean, there's nothing above me.
Wow. I love you, Ian.
Look at that. Say that again.
I love you, Ian.
See how it spiked to red?
Mm-hmm.
He's trying to connect
3.
with you. 3. Is
3.
there 3 people involved in this? Are 3 people responsible? Or is it, I mean, he could be referring to 3 people in the live right now.
Hmm.
Because somebody just joined and it made it go from 2 to 3, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I would definitely look into, oh, there we go. Eric and
Clark.
Clark. And see, Clark is is not my last name, but it's my mom's last name. And so that would also be my Auntie Lynn's last name, my Uncle Raymond's last name, right? But it's Clark with an E at the end. But that doesn't matter. But it could also be Eric Clark.
Mm-hmm.
So I would definitely be looking into that, Ben.
Yeah.
You know, Dorothy and Eric, Rose, Clark.
Mm-hmm.
3 could be the room number he was in, the floor he was on, how many people were involved,
Mm-hmm.
how many dosage he was given. I mean, who knows? 3 is very vague. Man,
Ian,
look
can
at,
you tell me what's going on? Like, who did this to you and why? Were you in trouble with these people?
good question.
Can you tell me? Did you not pay them for drugs?
I think you're on the right track there.
Was there trouble involved? Well,
Williams.
There's that name again. Remember, it came up
Yeah.
earlier, and you said that was his middle name.
yeah, William Dempster. Ian William Dempster, yeah.
Wow. Maybe we should try inviting Docs and Dean because they both do cards too, and so they'll bring more energy in. Um,
Okay.
let's see if we both invite, maybe we can get more people to come in here.
Okay.
And it might just help you out more. Why can't I find? I can't find Threeper and Walleye for some reason. Okay, so Ian, was this an accident? Or was this malicious?
Come on, Ian, you can tell me. You can tell Sherri. Come on now. Come on, Ian. Was this malicious, Ian? I live on.
Aw,
Aw.
I like that. Aw.
I love you, Ian. You know that so much.
You know, sometimes people just struggle to find happiness in their lives and they go down a path that they sometimes, it's like quicksand that they just cannot fight their way out of, and stuff like this happens. It doesn't mean that they were a bad person. You know, it just means that they had bad things that happened to them. And I think sometimes people forget that when you die, you're still a good person in there, you know? I
He
think,
was, we tried to send him to a dry out place, but he wouldn't stay there.
yeah,
Like he fought fought them all the way. Like, it was, he was on drugs, and there was nothing to stop him from running.
Yeah.
And the cops had to come back to Hinsville and get him again. Like, it was horrible. Like, but I still love the guy.
Well, the thing is, for one, you have to be ready. And for two, withdrawals suck. Like I said, I'm on very, very low dosage of slow release and fast release so that my pain levels don't have such big highs and lows. It just keeps my pain levels at a normal. And if I miss 8 hours of my medications, I start going into withdrawals. And I actually went 3 days without my meds because
Ritual.
my pharmacy screwed me over. And I ended up being sick for the whole week, this past week. And I'm not on heavy drugs, so I can't imagine that it was easy for him. He probably was really hurting because your bones ache, you get cold sweats. You can't sit still. It feels like your skin is constantly crawling and you're so fidgety. You have to be moving. You're nauseous. You can't see straight. You can't think straight. You're vomiting. You have diarrhea, those kind of things. You get migraines. It's awful. It's awful to go through withdrawals. So I understand that part of it. But if you're also not ready for rehab, you're not going to stay. You're not, and it won't stick. And it's unfortunate. But there's something about this that makes me think there's something else, that it
Secret.
wasn't. Yeah, exactly. I'm on the right spot. It said ritual and secret. Okay. So maybe this was some kind of, I don't like to say that word, that R word though. I don't think that was what it was, but I think somebody did this to him and tried to make it look like he OD'd.
Yeah.
Like maybe they dosed him. Maybe they gave him fentanyl mixed in it, or maybe they gave him too much, or
Tongue terror.
oh, okay.
Tongue
I'm on the
terror?
right I'm on the right track. Every time I'm on the right path, I get that. And that means they're gonna rip out my tongue.
Really?
Yeah, that's a threat.
Huh.
I had that last night and I had to turn it off. And I was just doing it alone in my room asking questions about my brother. So that's a direct threat. I think I'm on the right spot with that. And my static meter just kept flashing. Like the green kept going.
What?
Yeah, now that's going off. So there's a spirit that's trying to get close to me to stop me from saying anymore, I'm guessing, because the green light keeps flickering and then the music box is going off. And I mean, I would have to be above it. I'll show you when it stops playing. I would have to be about there. And I'm behind it. I'm way the heck over here. There's no way I'm setting that thing off. So, and the fact that the green static light keeps flashing means something is coming close to me. It's okay. You can keep coming over here if you want. Did you want to come and look at my screen? Is that what you're trying to do so that you can see Benny's face? It does look like an altar, doesn't it? It does. I've got all these things around me to make it look like an altar. I'm surrounded by my drums and my crosses and everything. You're right. It does kind of look like an altar set up here.
Yeah.
Wow, you're making that K2 jump, 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 hey?
I love you, Ian. So much. I'm so proud of you, my old man. Whoa.
You just keep trying to come through there, Ian. It's okay. Come closer if you need to. You can use energy. I've got lots of power source wrapped right around me. Lots
Can
of
you play
light.
that music box again, Ian? Can you hit? Good boy.
Good job. And you're happy. Oh.
I love you, little man.
Oh, that makes me so happy. I want to cry.
Can you hit that song again, Ian? Thank
Good
you.
job. Good job, Ian. Wow. That's fantastic, Benny. That's fantastic.
I love you, E, so much. Can you do that one more time for Benny, please?
You're trying, yeah, I know. It takes. Oh,
There we go. Good boy.
good job.
Good job, my little man. I miss you. You're gonna
Oh,
make me cry, Ian.
it's making me
Damn
cry.
you.
I've got tears.
Hmm.
This is incredible. Thank you. See, you're making the static meter flash. Thank you so much. Okay, we can use this. We can use this for yes and no. Okay, so the red light is a no, and the blue light will be for yes. Okay. So once the music box stops, I'm going to ask you a question. Would you like me to cross you over? Red light is no, blue light is yes. Ooh, that's a
Whoa.
bright green. You're not sure? You're not sure? Okay. Would you like
Ian,
me to do
please.
prayers for you instead? Just prayers. Blue for yes, red for no. Green. You don't want that either? That's okay. That's okay. Would you like to just stay here? I think you just
Wow.
want to stay here, huh?
Hmm.
Okay. I gotcha. I gotcha. We're good. You are more than welcome to stay. Look at the meters just going off.
Mhm.
I'm reaching out.
You are
Wow.
reaching out. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ian. I love you.
Wow, Benny.
I
That's
love you, little
fantastic.
man. Hmm.
Oh, I think he's saying that he loves you too. Right? Am I right? You
Yeah.
love Benny too?
Yeah, he loves me too.
I bet he does.
I
Oh,
miss you, E. You know, I wish you wouldn't have gone.
oh. You used up most of your energy? Oh, there we go. Oh, see?
Aw. Thank you, Ian.
He's acknowledging that. Oh,
I
that
love
makes me
you.
so happy. Oh, Benny, my heart. I just
My
want to
little
cry. This
man.
makes me so happy. This is why I do what I do because of this. Because I get to communicate and bring you guys to be able to communicate. I love this. Thank you so much, Ian. Thank
I
you so
will
much.
let you rest, Ian. I know you're doing a lot of that lately, but, you know, it's...
It takes a lot of energy to come through and speak. So thank you. We are very, very happy that you came through and spoke to us tonight.
Rest easy, my little man. I love you. I love you so much, Ian.
It's okay to go now. You don't have to go towards the light, but you can back away now so that,
Power.
yes, I know you're needing more power. I understand. Yes, I do. You're running out. That's why I said that it's okay. You can back away if you need to.
You
You
can back
probably need to
way in now.
rest.
I love you, little man. Sleep well. Rest
Oh,
well, my little man.
oh.
Rest in paradise, little man.
Wow. What an amazing, amazing communication session. Maybe we should end it here. And what I'll do is later I'll download it
Okay.
and if you send me your email, I'll try to email it to you.
Okay.
Um that because I don't really want to post this personal of a session without your permission. So I'll send it to you and you can watch it.
Okay.
Exactly, you're agreeing with me. Exactly. And then you can decide if it's okay if you want to post it on YouTube or not. But I will send it to you once it's downloaded because it's going to be like an over an hour long.
Okay.
It'll take a little bit to download, but just send me your email address. You really
I
like that
will.
idea, hey?
Yeah, I will do that right
Oh, he
now.
really does. He really likes that idea. Okay. Thank you. And look at, he turned my static meter off. It's not even on anymore. That's how much power he used. He turned it right off. The light is like the switch is on. Oh, oh, you don't want me to touch it. You don't want me to touch that? Okay, I will back away from it. Oh, you're frustrated. Oh no.
What's
I'm
going on,
sorry.
E?
You don't want me to go? No, you don't want to stop talking, huh? Okay, okay, okay.
Okay,
Ooh,
E, I see that. I love you, little
wow.
man.
But Benny might be tired though, Ian. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
I'm getting
10:30 at
tired,
night.
E. You
Wow,
need
he
some
really
rest
doesn't want
too.
to. He really doesn't want to stop. Okay, so maybe, are you frustrated about the video? Do you want me to send Benny the video? Yes? Okay. Yes? Okay.
Wind.
Wind? Wind. Is it going to be really windy?
I think so, yeah. It's gonna start getting
Ooh.
cold soon here, and
Ooh. Okay. Ooh, gosh, you're really trying to get a message about the wind, hey? Um, I know you said something about Bobby.
Bobby.
Bobby. Bobby.
what?
Hmm. Wow. Do you know somebody, Bobby, that might be trying to get in touch with you?
No.
Is he related to a Bobby somehow?
Nope.
Wait a minute. Maybe that's another name.
Oh, okay.
Because Eric, Clark, Bobby. Is that right? Is that right? Was Bobby one of the names? You're trying to make that light come on, hey? You're running out of power, I think, hey? I know
Well,
it takes a
E,
lot of
I'm gonna say goodnight, E, and I love you. Rest in paradise, my little man.
Aw.
And I love you so much. You go rest now, Ian. Please.
Aw. Thank you so much, Ian, for coming through and talking to us. You rest in peace now, okay? And Benny, you too.
Yeah, I will. Thank you for doing this for me.
You are very, very,
I
very welcome. I'm
appreciate
just gonna turn that
you.
off. I'm very, very glad now that he was able to come through and give you some. Oh my.
Infernal One.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's why it turned red when I tried to turn that off, because there's that demon again. See,
I'm an
that's
infernal
his
one.
inner demons coming through, right? I'm right,
Mm-hmm.
right? That's the drugs talking again. Yeah. So what I think is happening is occasionally he's coming out as pre-drugs and
Mm-hmm.
with drugs in his system. And so maybe when he's clear thinking, sober thinking spirit, right? I'm right.
Mm-hmm.
That's when the names and stuff are coming through. Am I right, Ian? Am I right? I turned off the music box just because I couldn't hear you over top of it. But am I right? Can you give me that green flash? Ooh, that I was
Oh,
definitely right on. That went solid red
yeah.
flash 3 times. Holy crap. Yep, that did too. Okay. Okay, so we're going to end the session right now before it gets nasty. But
Yeah.
yeah, send me your
Oh,
email address.
I did. I wrote it underneath text there.
Okay. And yeah, I will.
Colin.
I'll download. There's another name. I'll download it later, and I'll try to email it to you, and you can decide what you want to do with it. Maybe share it with your family, because maybe some of these messages will make more sense to them.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much for this,
Absolutely.
Sherry.
No problem. I'm so glad that he came through.
All right. You have a great night.
You too.
All right. Good
All
night
right.
now.
Bye.